You may be seated, and as you are seated, I would invite Lucas Curell from the Vestry to come forward for a message from the Vestry, and we'll be hearing from the Vestry for the next 9 weeks or so. So, Lucas.
All right. As Kurt said, if you don't know me, my name is Lucas, and I am one of your Vestry members. I'm the first, but not the last, who will spend a couple of minutes talking to you about our financial situation and where we have needs over the next couple of years. So, hopefully earlier this week you received and read Kurt's letter, wherein he talked about the gap that we have this year and the things that we have done and the various challenges that we faced. You know, he spoke about remodeling the chapel, restoring the stained glass windows, replacing the boiler, the work that's been done in the basement. Each one of those is a challenge that our church has faced over the last few years, and together we have overcome each of those challenges, and everybody is very grateful for that, by the way. Now, it's difficult for the Vestry to maintain a balanced budget. That's something we've been trying to do for years, and we have accomplished in the last many years through, really, there's four things. There's four places where we get money. There's member contributions, there's a draw from an endowment, there's one-time gifts, and most recently, there are government grants from the COVID relief. As we draw near to the end of this year and look into next year, there's some important things that we all need to realize. The first one is those COVID grants are all done. There's no more of those. The second one is the one-time gifts that we as a church have received are just about all done. There's a gap, as Kurt mentioned, as I've mentioned, this year. If we don't do anything, we'll probably be all right this year, right? We've got enough socked away that we'll be able to cover that $21,000 shortfall this year. But that's pretty much it. Then there's no more one-time gifts left. There's no more PPP loans or COVID loans. So that's really the challenge that we as a church face. And I say challenge, it's really a choice, right? As we look at our budget, we have choices to make. And one of those choices is, are we willing to, pay for the services that we have? We have to have a balanced budget. And the hard truth is the Vestry has cut and trimmed until the only place we have left to cut and trim is in personnel. And nobody wants to lose any of the personnel that we have here. And I think it's time for us as a church to begin to invest more recently in the chapel, in the windows. We've invested in all the things of our faith. It's now time for us to take that same step and invest in the people that come to get up every day and come in here and serve and help us in our worship and our faith. So, what does it mean, right? We have $21,000 shortfall this year, and we have that again next year. We have more than that. Here's something that you certainly know. If you go out to the grocery store, if you go put gas in your car, inflation's been kind of crazy. Everything costs more. Something you may not know is that the people that work here at this church, I've been on the Vestry, this is my second time, in the last 10 years or so, the people that work here at this church have received nothing more than a very small incremental cost of living adjustment year after year after year. And that's because that's one of the very few places in the budget that we have direct control over. So here's what we need to do, right? We have a choice. We face a choice, a challenge, not unlike those that have come before. And we need to step up and rise up to that challenge just as we have. Practically speaking, there are 61 families at this church that give. If no new families give, and if every one of those families carry the burden equally, which will not be the case, right? Everybody's shoulders differently, but to come up with the $21,000 plus a little more, because we need to not only meet our budget shortfall, we need to invest in our people and in our church. Everybody needs to give a little bit more. If everybody gave another $50 a month, which is about $600 a year, then that would more than cover the shortfall we have. and provide some money in the budget for future years to further invest in our people. So really that's what I'm asking you to do. Leave here today. Think about how you can give back to this church more. I know this church, you've given much over the years. We need to give more. Prayerfully consider what you can do, and then go forth and give more. Whether it is in the form of a one-time gift, we have a problem this year, right, that we need to close. But also go into the Vanco app if that's how you give, and increase the money you give. Or go into I think on the website there's a button that says contribute, or call the office. Consider your pledge next year, and consider increasing your pledge next year to help cover that difference. So, thank you.